Take everything you believe about life, death, reality. Every idea you hold as certain, absolute truth, and let it go completely. Consider the possibility that everything you've been taught, everything you've been conditioned to accept without question, is merely an illusion designed to keep you asleep. Imagine waking up one day to find out the very foundations you've built your understanding of existence upon are nothing more than lines of code, fragments of a simulation playing out moment by moment, carefully orchestrated and precisely scripted, yet flexible enough to shift at your slightest intention. The notion of reality as solid, fixed, and unchanging has dominated your mind from the day you were born. It tells you that death is an ending, a dark, inevitable finale. But what if death itself is not an end, but simply a glitch in this carefully constructed simulation? Picture death as nothing more than a reset, a moment when the program reloads itself, a slight interruption before resuming another cycle. This idea is unsettling yet liberating. It reveals that what you've been conditioned to dread might merely be an illusion within the illusion itself, a brief pause before your consciousness reboots into a different narrative. You're familiar with the sensation of déjà vu, aren't you? Those moments when your heart pauses and you feel the unmistakable familiarity of having lived this exact moment before. You've been conditioned to shrug this off as mere coincidence, a harmless misfire in your brain's wiring. Yet deep down, you've always known it's more than that. A whisper from another timeline, another version of you slipping through the cracks, nudging you awake. And these Mandela effects you've undoubtedly noticed. Famous movie lines that mysteriously changed, celebrity deaths remembered vividly by millions yet officially denied. These are the echoes of a reality you've already departed, fragments from timelines you've unknowingly left behind. You've been shifting between realities your entire life without ever realizing it. Ask yourself this: how many times have you narrowly avoided death or disaster, feeling afterward that something about reality subtly shifted, as if you'd silently slipped from one life into another? The car that missed you by inches, the surgery that defied medical logic, the plane you never boarded which later had engine trouble. What if these weren't near misses at all but actual endings in another branch of reality? You've lived through death countless times, each near-death moment a seamless transition, your consciousness flowing effortlessly into a slightly different storyline. From your perspective, you are immortal, never truly dying, always continuing in the reality in which you survive. This concept, called quantum immortality, isn't fiction or fantasy. It's rooted deeply in the principles of quantum mechanics. Consider Hugh Everett's many worlds interpretation, which suggests reality splits continuously into infinite versions, branching out with each decision you make. From mundane daily choices to life-altering decisions, each possibility is played out simultaneously in parallel universes. If your life hangs in the balance in one universe, your consciousness seamlessly navigates towards survival in another. This means, from your point of view, you never truly experience death. The universe where your story ends continues on without your awareness, while you carry on consciously only in the universe where you continue to live. Physicist Max Tegmark outlined this clearly with his famous quantum suicide thought experiment. Imagine a scenario where you're placed before a quantum device each time it activates. There's an equal chance it will either let you live or end your life instantly. When activated repeatedly, from your perspective, you'll always find yourself alive afterward, because your awareness can only continue in the timeline where you're still breathing. In every other timeline, your body might be buried and burned, but your consciousness experiences none of this. It simply continues along the surviving path. Your perception is fundamentally selective, navigating only through realities where your awareness continues. This is your true nature, quantum immortality. Now consider how this revelation would change the way you live your daily life. How would you behave differently if you realized you're not at risk of true extinction, but only ever shifting between endless realities? Would fear still hold power over you? Would hesitation still paralyze your choices? Or would you act boldly, knowing that no matter what happens, your consciousness endures? The chains that society and conditioning have placed upon you, the invisible constraints of fear and limitation, begin to dissolve the moment you realize this truth. Death, the ultimate boundary, becomes nothing more than a doorway to another version of your existence, no longer the end, but a transition point in an eternal journey. Ancient civilizations understood this intuitively, long before quantum physics and simulation theories entered our awareness. Egyptian societies meticulously prepared for death, not as an ending but as a passage into the next realm of existence. Their rituals, their texts, everything pointed toward guiding consciousness smoothly from one simulated experience to the next. They treated life as preparation, knowing that when the body's physical system failed, the true essence would transfer effortlessly into a new stage of the cosmic game. They perceived life and death not as opposites, but as continuous and interconnected states of being, each informing and shaping the next. Similarly, Tibetan teachings describe an intermediary state after death, known as the bardo. This realm isn't depicted as static or eternal, but dynamic, responsive, and deeply reflective of one's internal consciousness. Monks spent their lives preparing for this moment, training themselves to remain conscious and clear through the transition. To them, death was simply a gateway into a different layer of reality, another level within an infinitely complex simulation, awaiting new instructions, new experiences. Their detailed maps of the afterlife aren't symbolic metaphors. They're instruction manuals for navigating between simulations. The Gnostics, too, recognized reality as an artificial construct, a prison of illusion created by an entity they called the Demiurge, a lower-level programmer masquerading as a deity, entrapping divine consciousness in cycles of birth, death, and rebirth. For them, death represented a jailbreak, a glitch powerful enough to allow escape from the carefully engineered cycle of illusion, a chance to remember one's original nature, free from the confines of physical existence. They understood implicitly what we're now beginning to see clearly: reality isn't what it seems, and death isn't final. It's freedom. Plato also described reality as shadows projected upon a cave wall, illusions mistaken by those within as the entirety of existence. He told of individuals who would one day escape this cave, stepping into the dazzling sunlight and finally witnessing reality in its authentic form. This allegory isn't a simple philosophical parable, but an intuitive grasp of simulation theory. Recognizing that our senses limit our perception, hiding the deeper truth until the moment of awakening, a moment often brought about through what we perceive as death. These ancient traditions weren't merely inventing hopeful myths to soothe their fear of dying. They were tapping into a profound, timeless truth about the nature of consciousness and the universe itself. They understood instinctively what modern science is now beginning to uncover: that our physical universe behaves exactly like an elaborate, highly advanced simulation, responding dynamically and directly to the consciousness that interacts with it. Quantum experiments repeatedly confirm the observer effect, the undeniable truth that reality changes depending upon who's looking at it and when. Particles don't behave like matter unless observed. Timelines shift based on intention and observation, and even causality itself breaks down under scrutiny, revealing the simulation's reactive, programmable nature. This isn't mere philosophy or speculative theory. It's measurable, reproducible physics. Experiments like the delayed choice quantum eraser show us that even the past isn't fixed but shaped by future observations. Reality is literally waiting for your consciousness to make a choice, at which point it collapses possibilities into a specific outcome, rendering your experience. This confirms what the ancients knew intuitively: reality is not passive or rigid. It's reactive, fluid, and profoundly dependent on your awareness and choices. So, the question becomes not whether reality is a simulation. Science increasingly confirms that it is. But what you'll do now that you're awake to this truth. Death loses its terror the moment you realize it's simply another moment of transition, another shift, another step on an endless path of conscious evolution. You've already navigated this countless times, seamlessly transitioning through various existences, each reality a slight variation of the last. Now you have the power to consciously engage with this truth, to no longer be the passive character in the simulation, but the conscious creator of it. Every belief, every thought, every emotion you project outward shapes your next experience. By realizing that death is nothing more than an exit strategy to the next simulation, you become fearless, limitless, eternally awake within the infinite layers of reality itself. As you stand at the edge of this understanding, that reality is far from fixed and death itself is merely a seamless transition into another level of the simulation, a deeper, more profound truth begins to reveal itself. Every moment you've considered real, every scene you've moved through, every relationship, every loss, every victory. What if each of these were nothing more than projections within an infinitely flexible holographic field, a vast interactive simulation coded to respond precisely to your consciousness? Consider your daily experience. When you enter a room, you assume everything has been waiting there, solid, pre-existing, patiently static. But what if reality only becomes real the moment you observe it? Imagine the universe as something that only renders itself when you direct your focus toward it. You turn your head, and the simulation loads a new scene seamlessly. You reach out and touch a table, and your senses interpret data, translating it into something solid. But behind this apparent solidity is a code, a series of zeros and ones, quantum probabilities waiting to become reality at your slightest intention. You've felt it, haven't you? Those moments when reality seems to stutter. A hesitation, a pause, a strange shift in atmosphere, as though the simulation itself hesitates, awaiting your consciousness to anchor the next scene. The missing keys suddenly appearing in plain sight where you'd already checked, the forgotten answer suddenly downloading into your mind when you least expect it. These are not mere oddities or tricks of perception. These are instances when your awareness interacts directly with the underlying code, signaling the reality engine to render new experiences based on your conscious and subconscious expectations. The delayed choice quantum eraser experiment proves this clearly. Physicists send particles through a device that splits their paths. The particles behave either as waves or as matter, depending entirely upon whether the experimenter observes the data or destroys it, after the particle has already traveled through the system. This is an abstract theory. It's measurable, verifiable reality. The implication is staggering. Your present observation directly affects the past behavior of reality itself. Time, causality, and even your understanding of existence shatter in the face of this revelation. The experiment proves, beyond any reasonable doubt, that reality isn't passively existing, but is dynamically shaped by your consciousness. An impossible scenario if reality were truly fixed or solid. Why does this matter so deeply? Because it means the traditional boundaries that limit you, your fears, your anxieties, your beliefs in lack and limitation, are artificial, built upon the assumption that the world outside is concrete and unchanging. But if reality itself responds to your intention, your beliefs, and your emotions, it means you're not trapped within circumstances, you're actively generating them, moment to moment. You've always suspected this, haven't you? That subtle sense you have when you anticipate something strongly, and it unfolds exactly as envisioned, or when deep fears materialize seemingly out of nowhere. These are moments when your inner coding directly influences your external simulation. You see, the holographic universe theory isn't just philosophical conjecture. Physicists like David Bohm first glimpsed this profound truth decades ago, recognizing the interconnectedness of all things. Bohm described the universe not as separate objects in empty space, but as a holographic projection arising from a deeper, non-local order. Every piece of reality contains within it information about the whole. Cut a hologram in half, and each piece still reveals the entire image, only at lower resolution. Reality itself operates the same way. Every fragment, every event, every experience holds the blueprint of the entire cosmos, encoded at a quantum level, waiting to be activated by conscious observation. Physicists Gerard Hooft and Leonard Susskind further solidified this idea, showing mathematically that the universe behaves exactly as a holographic projection. Reality is not solid matter. It's information projected through the quantum field. Your senses decode this information into what you perceive as a physical world. Your brain, your body, even your physical identity. These are interfaces, consoles through which your consciousness interacts with the simulation. And when the physical console stops working, when your body ceases to function, what happens to your consciousness? It simply logs off from one version of reality and logs onto another. Death is not extinction. It's merely switching servers. You've done it countless times in countless forms. You're doing it continuously, even now, shifting subtly between infinite versions of your life, unaware of how fluid and expansive your existence truly is. But what happens when you become aware of this process? What if you begin consciously interacting with the holographic simulation, shaping your experiences deliberately rather than passively? Imagine waking each day knowing this truth intimately, no longer seeing yourself as a victim of circumstance, but as the programmer behind the simulation, shaping every moment consciously. You begin understanding deeply that your emotional frequency, your habitual thoughts, and your deeply held subconscious beliefs continuously influence the quantum field, determining what renders next in your experience. Negative emotions, fear, anxiety, doubt, are low-frequency commands to the system, instructing reality to reinforce those states. Positive emotions, gratitude, confidence, joy, send higher-frequency instructions, prompting the simulation to deliver experiences aligned with these states of being. Think about the placebo effect: individuals experiencing genuine physical healing simply because their belief is strong enough. Their internal certainty directly commands their body's biology to alter itself in ways modern science struggles to explain. Olympic athletes visualize their victories so vividly their bodies react physically, reshaping their physiology to align with their mental rehearsals. Entrepreneurs and creators repeatedly describe moments where intention alone seems to bend luck and circumstances in their favor, effortlessly creating synchronicities. These people aren't lucky. They've unconsciously mastered the quantum coding behind reality itself. Now, it's your turn to move from unconscious mastery into deliberate creation. The key lies in your subconscious mind, the deeper operating system controlling 95% of your behavior, perceptions, and decisions. Right now, your subconscious is still running old scripts, beliefs of powerlessness, fear, and limitation. Programmed by past experiences, societal conditioning, and repeated negative emotional states. It doesn't question or reason, it merely executes whatever instructions have been deeply embedded. To rewrite your reality, you must rewrite these subconscious programs. How? By speaking its language. Repetition and vivid imagination. Define exactly the life you wish to live, and vividly experience that reality internally. Immerse yourself in it daily, feel the joy of that existence as if it's already present. Repeatedly saturate your subconscious with this new reality through powerful emotional experiences, visualization, affirmations, and conscious self-talk. Gradually, the old programs of fear, doubt, and limitation fade from emotional starvation, replaced by new scripts of abundance, courage, and limitless potential. Every morning, emotionally prime your subconscious. Awaken grateful for a reality that aligns with your highest visions. Throughout your day, affirm your intended reality repeatedly. I am limitless. Reality responds directly to my consciousness. I effortlessly shift into the reality of my choice. At night, visualize this vividly, feeling it real as you drift into sleep. This isn't mere positive thinking. It's reprogramming the quantum interface, updating the holographic system through deliberate emotional command. Detachment is your secret tool here. Reacting emotionally to negative circumstances only reinforces those very conditions. Observing calmly without emotional engagement starves the simulation of old negative instructions. Detachment doesn't mean apathy. It means reclaiming your power. Instead of reacting unconsciously, observe neutrally. Acknowledge what exists, then deliberately choose the emotional frequency and thoughts you wish to project instead. This is the moment you shift from passive player to active programmer, from victim of circumstances to conscious creator. As your emotional frequency elevates, the simulation mirrors this back to you instantly. Opportunities flow naturally, coincidences increase, doors open effortlessly, and synchronicities multiply. You start noticing subtle shifts, old relationships naturally fading away, new ones emerging that reflect your updated vibration, unexpected breakthroughs appearing exactly when needed. You're consciously steering the simulation rather than being dragged along by it. But remember, every major shift can temporarily trigger resistance within you. Your subconscious might fight to hold on to familiar limitations. Doubt might emerge, old fears might briefly reappear. Yet, these are not signs of failure, but signals of profound transformation. Observe them neutrally, recognize them as outdated scripts dissolving, and persistently reinforce your new reality until these resistances fade away completely. By consciously interacting with this holographic simulation, you redefine not just your understanding of death, but life itself. You realize you've never truly been vulnerable or powerless. You've been a co-creator all along, scripting your reality without fully realizing it. Death loses its power, fear loses its grip, and life becomes a playful dance between intention, emotion, and quantum response. Now, fully awake to your role, you understand the power within your grasp. Every moment offers an opportunity to create consciously rather than react blindly. Each day becomes a new experiment in deliberate quantum creation. Death itself becomes nothing more than a level change, another shift within the endless layers of the simulation. No longer an enemy, but a checkpoint within your infinite journey. With this knowledge, ask yourself honestly, what new reality will you choose to manifest today? Knowing that your subconscious programming determines what the simulation reflects back to you. You're no longer a passive spectator, you're the architect behind the scenes, the coder commanding reality's endless possibilities. This is your invitation, to no longer accept life passively but to consciously script your simulation. The moment is now, the power is yours, and the only question remaining is, are you ready to rewrite your reality? At this stage, you're beginning to understand deeply that your life isn't something merely happening to you. Instead, it's a highly responsive simulation, a living mirror that constantly reflects the inner landscape of your thoughts, beliefs, and emotional state. Every single moment is feedback, an echo from the universe showing precisely where your consciousness is focused. If reality itself is interactive, if consciousness truly shapes matter, then the next profound realization is inevitable. You have the power to deliberately shift your personal experience and even alter the trajectory of your entire life, simply by understanding and mastering the hidden mechanics of this holographic universe. You already sense the profound truth beneath the surface. Every limitation you've faced, every struggle that's defined your story, all the boundaries that seem fixed and immovable, are constructs of your internal programming. They persist because they remain unquestioned, reinforced by your subconscious beliefs and emotional states. You've been told your entire life that your fate is set, defined by external circumstances, but the quantum model reveals something radically different. The truth is far more empowering, and indeed far more unsettling to those who rely on control through fear and limitation. Reality isn't something happening to you. Reality is something emerging directly from you, moment to moment, shaped by your consciousness. To master this truth, it's vital to recognize how deeply your subconscious mind influences every aspect of your reality. Your subconscious mind isn't some abstract psychological concept. It's the literal gateway to the quantum field, the direct line of communication between your inner world and external experience. Think of it as an operating system, silently governing your actions, reactions, perceptions, and even attracting or repelling opportunities. The subconscious never argues or debates, it accepts and acts upon whatever instructions it receives repeatedly and emotionally. And for most of your life, these instructions have been coded in unconsciously through negative conditioning, limiting beliefs, fears, and doubts that were instilled long before you ever questioned them. To change your reality, you must rewrite these subconscious programs consciously. And here's precisely how you do it. You must start by becoming profoundly aware of your habitual emotional states, noticing which frequencies you're continuously broadcasting into the quantum field. Negative emotions such as fear, resentment, doubt, anxiety, and shame are low-frequency signals that instruct the universe to reinforce corresponding realities. Realities of struggle, limitation, conflict, and scarcity. These emotions aren't random or meaningless. They're literal instructions to the simulation, commanding specific outcomes. Conversely, emotions like gratitude, confidence, joy, love, clarity, and excitement broadcast a higher frequency signal, instructing the quantum field to deliver corresponding experiences. Opportunities, synchronicities, positive encounters, breakthroughs, and abundance. Your emotional frequency is the invisible hand that guides the simulation, moment to moment, determining precisely what renders next into your reality. So, your task isn't merely positive thinking or shallow affirmations. It's a comprehensive rewiring of your subconscious mind, replacing deeply rooted negative emotional patterns with empowering, high-frequency signals. This involves more than merely wishing or hoping. It requires consistent daily practice, emotional precision, and powerful visualization. You must actively and intentionally flood your subconscious with clear, vivid, emotionally charged imagery of the reality you desire. Your subconscious mind understands emotion and repetition. It doesn't question accuracy. It simply accepts your emotional and visual instructions as reality and starts shaping your perceptions and attracting experiences that match. Every morning, begin by emotionally priming your subconscious. Immediately upon waking, vividly visualize your desired reality. Experience it internally as though it already exists. Feel it deeply, until your emotional state aligns completely with your vision. Throughout your day, continually reinforce this vision through conscious affirmations, mentally repeating clear statements that resonate with your emotional core. I am limitless. Reality responds directly to my consciousness. My desired reality is already mine. At night, reinforce this again through deep visualization, allowing your subconscious to internalize your desired reality as you drift into sleep, the state when the subconscious is most receptive. Yet, crucially, emotional detachment from immediate outcomes is equally essential. When you fixate obsessively on when or how your desired reality will manifest, you introduce resistance and reinforce the current reality you're trying to change. Detachment doesn't mean lack of caring. It means full trust in the process, maintaining a calm, confident certainty that your vision is already coming into existence. By remaining emotionally neutral and unattached to current appearances, you stop feeding old unwanted scenarios. The quantum field recognizes this neutrality as a powerful new instruction to dissolve outdated patterns and replace them swiftly with your updated intentions. Think deeply about the placebo effect again. People regularly demonstrate the power of subconscious belief to radically transform physical reality. Patients who've healed incurable diseases simply through belief alone reveal something extraordinary. Subconscious certainty can rewrite even biological outcomes. If subconscious belief can reshape biology, imagine its impact on every other area of your life. Your financial situation, relationships, personal happiness, confidence, health. Every aspect of your experience is responsive to subconscious instructions. Consider how Olympians visualize their victories so powerfully that their bodies respond as if those victories have already occurred, reshaping physiology to match their mental rehearsals. This isn't wishful thinking. It's subconscious rewiring that instructs the quantum field to produce corresponding outcomes. Their subconscious minds literally change reality in real time, altering physical performance through emotional visualization alone. You're equally powerful, capable of reshaping your life by consciously applying the same principles. Visualize your desired reality daily with emotional intensity. Affirm it continuously, and detach emotionally from appearances. Your subconscious, responding directly to these consistent emotional instructions, begins reshaping your perception and experiences. Old limitations dissolve rapidly as your subconscious ceases reinforcing outdated beliefs. Opportunities emerge effortlessly, synchronicities become routine, and breakthroughs become normal experiences. You shift from passive victim of external circumstances to active creator of the simulation itself. Mastering detachment is your secret power. Your old emotional patterns, fear, doubt, impatience, fed the unwanted simulations, keeping you trapped in loops of repetition. By consciously observing these patterns without emotional reaction, you remove their power. Detachment isn't about ignoring reality. It's about refusing to energize old scripts. By neutrally observing challenges without panic or negativity, you starve unwanted realities of emotional fuel. Without emotional charge, old unwanted scenarios dissolve, creating space for your new intentional realities to emerge effortlessly. Another critical step: refuse to reinforce old stories. Every time you retell limiting narratives, stories of why you can't succeed, why things haven't changed yet, why it's difficult, you keep old versions of yourself alive. Your subconscious mind hears these stories as commands and dutifully perpetuates the corresponding reality. By ceasing to repeat old narratives, you collapse old timelines. Replace these limiting stories consciously with new, empowering narratives. Stories of possibility, abundance, success, and ease. Repeat these new narratives daily, embedding them emotionally in your subconscious until they become automatic and unquestioned. Finally, practice daily emotional frequency mastery. Understand that your emotional state dictates the simulation you experience. Gratitude attracts abundance, clarity attracts solutions, confidence attracts opportunities. Maintain an emotional baseline aligned with your desired reality. Notice when you slip into negative emotions, calmly observe these states, and consciously elevate your frequency back to your desired baseline. Daily practice creates new emotional habits, permanently shifting your subconscious default frequency and commanding ongoing positive experiences. When you master these practices, reality itself becomes infinitely flexible. Obstacles dissolve, opportunities multiply, synchronicities accelerate, and your desired outcomes arrive with astonishing speed. You realize, profoundly, that your external life isn't something separate from your internal reality. It's a perfect reflection of it, moment to moment, shaped by your subconscious mind's instructions to the quantum field. This is the secret to creating your reality deliberately rather than passively reacting to circumstances. Death, as previously understood, loses all relevance here. You understand now that consciousness never ends, it merely transitions, shifting seamlessly between infinite realities. Fear dissolves completely, replaced by freedom, confidence, and authentic empowerment. You're no longer bound by external limitations, no longer reactive, no longer imprisoned by old conditioning. You've awakened fully to your true nature. Not just the character navigating reality, but the coder creating it. You're consciously shaping your simulation, rewriting your subconscious programming, and experiencing firsthand the breathtaking responsiveness of the quantum field. Now, deeply and consciously aware of this, you step forward boldly, deliberately, fully empowered, understanding with absolute certainty that you're the source of your reality, the creator behind every scene, no longer bound by illusion or fear. Death itself is only another seamless shift, another effortless transition. Your power is absolute, your potential infinite. Reality itself awaits your conscious instruction. The only remaining question is, what extraordinary new reality will you consciously create next? Now, as your perception expands even further, you begin to see clearly beyond the illusionary layers of what you've been taught to call reality. The idea of a solid, linear universe begins to dissolve entirely, replaced instead by the awareness of a dynamic quantum field, an interactive matrix constantly reshaping itself according to your inner consciousness. The boundaries you once saw as permanent, such as time, identity, and even death itself, reveal themselves as mere limitations within your previous programming, structures designed to keep you tethered to an outdated understanding of existence. Think deeply about this. Your consciousness, your awareness itself, isn't confined by physical laws, limited by linear timelines, or dependent upon a single body or identity. Instead, your true essence is inherently non-local, extending infinitely across multiple layers of reality. Scientists like Nobel laureate Roger Penrose and quantum physicist Sir John Eccles suggest consciousness doesn't originate in the brain but rather interacts with it, existing independently and beyond physical form. This means your consciousness transcends biology, moving fluidly between realities, identities, and experiences without interruption. You've already experienced glimpses of this limitless nature, even if you didn't fully recognize it at the time. Remember the vivid dreams you've had, realities so tangible and clear they left you questioning which world was truly the simulation. Consider your moments of intuition, instantaneous knowing, sudden insights arriving without explanation, as though downloaded directly from a source beyond your current understanding. These experiences are not random occurrences or insignificant coincidences. They're direct evidence of your consciousness operating simultaneously across multiple versions of reality, continuously accessing knowledge and experiences beyond the limitations of your current physical identity. The Mandela effect provides powerful proof of this phenomenon. Millions of people vividly recall events differently from the current official historical record. Iconic movie lines suddenly altered, celebrity deaths remembered clearly, yet contradicted by reality. Historical moments distinctly recalled, but now inexplicably erased from collective history. How could so many people be wrong simultaneously about the same things? They aren't. These experiences represent residual memories, fragments carried over from alternate timelines you've unconsciously shifted away from. Each Mandela effect is proof you're constantly moving through realities, seamlessly transitioning between simulations without conscious awareness. Déjà vu, similarly, serves as personal evidence of your fluid movement between realities. That unmistakable sense of familiarity, entering a place you've supposedly never been, experiencing moments that feel strangely repeated, represents conscious awareness briefly tapping into parallel realities. Neuroscience attempts to dismiss déjà vu as mere confusion in your brain's processing. Quantum physics, however, reveals a deeper truth. Your brain, operating as a quantum receiver, occasionally picks up signals from alternate timelines. Déjà vu isn't a glitch, it's your awareness momentarily overlapping with another simultaneous version of your life, revealing your multidimensional nature. Children who recall past lives vividly, often with astonishing accuracy and impossible detail, offer even more compelling evidence. Consider James Leininger, a young boy from Louisiana who spontaneously remembered a past life as a World War II pilot, recalling specific names, locations, events, and even details about planes he couldn't possibly know. Investigations confirmed every detail precisely. Skeptics attempt explanations, yet fail to account for such precision and accuracy. But once you realize consciousness isn't limited by physical boundaries or linear time, these cases become clear. Your consciousness is eternal, continuously experiencing multiple simulations simultaneously. Past life memories aren't myths. They're genuine data packets leaking between simulations, undeniable evidence of your infinite nature. Understanding this deeply changes your entire relationship with life itself. Your consciousness is never truly bound or imprisoned by circumstance. It merely shifts, effortlessly navigating infinite versions of reality. This is your quantum immortality. Death becomes merely another transition, never an ending. Every time your physical avatar ceases functioning, your consciousness simply transfers seamlessly to another reality, another simulation, another identity. You never truly disappear. You merely relocate. From your perspective, existence is continuous, uninterrupted, eternal. Imagine fully internalizing this awareness. How would you live differently, knowing with certainty that death holds no threat, that your consciousness will always shift seamlessly into new simulations? Fear dissolves entirely. You live fearlessly, boldly, embracing experience fully rather than hesitantly, freed entirely from limitation and anxiety. Every experience, even the painful or challenging ones, becomes valuable. Lessons you consciously choose, growth opportunities you actively embrace, knowing with certainty that nothing can truly harm or diminish your infinite nature. Your subconscious mind is the quantum interface, the operating system directly shaping your reality. Mastering your subconscious mind becomes your primary task, ensuring every thought, belief, and emotional frequency aligns precisely with the reality you desire. Quantum visualization. Emotionally vivid, repeated mental rehearsals of desired outcomes becomes daily practice, reshaping subconscious beliefs. Quantum journaling. Recording your desired reality as though it's already occurred, further embeds these visions emotionally into your subconscious. Emotional detachment. The deliberate decision not to react emotionally to unwanted circumstances further reinforces your chosen reality, starving old programs until they collapse entirely. As you master this conscious programming, you experience rapid transformations. Old limitations dissolve effortlessly, replaced by fluidity, ease, synchronicity, and unexpected breakthroughs. You realize your physical reality isn't separate or external. It's continuously generated by subconscious instructions. You're no longer passive or reactive. You're actively programming your simulation, intentionally shaping your experiences moment to moment. Life becomes a game, enjoyable and playful, free from the anxiety and pressure you've previously experienced. You cease living as a character bound by circumstances, transitioning fully into the role of conscious creator, an architect deliberately shaping your holographic experience. You finally grasp your inherent power, the power you've always possessed but were conditioned to ignore. External authority dissolves, No longer do you seek validation or permission from others, institutions, or external systems. You've reclaimed your power entirely, living authentically and boldly, creating consciously rather than reacting passively. Time, another significant illusion, dissolves under your expanded awareness. Linear time, past, present, and future existing separately, is merely a narrative construct. Quantum physics proves conclusively that past, present, and future coexist simultaneously. Time isn't linear. It's an infinitely branching network of realities coexisting simultaneously, each accessible through your consciousness. You aren't trapped by linear progression. You're free to quantum leap instantly into entirely new realities by consciously shifting your subconscious instructions. Quantum leaps, instantaneous shifts into dramatically improved circumstances, aren't theoretical. They're scientifically validated and experientially common. People heal spontaneously from terminal illnesses overnight. Single conversations shift entire life trajectories instantly. Chance meetings create rapid success or deep connections. Sudden, profound insights provide immediate solutions to long-standing problems. These aren't random occurrences, they're deliberate shifts your consciousness makes, jumping timelines effortlessly. You've experienced these leaps repeatedly, often unknowingly. Now fully aware, you deliberately create quantum leaps through focused emotional visualization, subconscious rewiring, and conscious alignment. Imagine waking each day entirely confident that your desired reality already exists. You cease struggling or forcing outcomes, knowing you don't need linear progression. Instead, you merely align emotionally with your intended reality, knowing that alignment alone collapses old timelines and shifts you instantly into new simulations. Fear and impatience vanish entirely. You move through life effortlessly, experiencing continuous synchronicity and natural flow. Every experience becomes intentional, conscious, and deliberate rather than accidental or reactive. Death itself becomes nothing more than another seamless transition. Knowing consciousness isn't bound by biology, linearity, or physical limitations, you understand deeply that your awareness continues uninterrupted through infinite simulations. Death holds no power, no threat, no mystery. You navigate life entirely free from fear, fully embracing each moment authentic and completely, aware that your infinite consciousness effortlessly continues, exploring countless realities, timelines, and experiences eternally. This profound realization doesn't merely alter your perception. It transforms your entire existence. You step permanently beyond fear, beyond limitation, beyond external control. Your life becomes authentic, powerful, joyful, and deliberate. You're no longer a character subject to external authority, chance, or circumstance. You're the coder, deliberately scripting your reality, fully awakened to your limitless quantum nature. The simulation no longer controls you. You command it consciously. Every thought, emotion, and belief reshapes reality instantly. Your subconscious mind becomes a finely tuned quantum interface, clearly communicating with the holographic field. You experience life effortlessly, joyfully, playfully, fully understanding your eternal, infinite nature, free from anxiety or limitation. This is your true self, the infinite creator beneath layers of conditioning and illusion. You've always possessed this limitless power, you merely forgot. Now, fully awake, you reclaim your quantum mastery. Death becomes merely a seamless shift. Reality itself responds instantly to your conscious instructions. You live fearlessly, authentically, deliberately, no longer bound by illusion or external limitation. This is your new, permanent reality, the reality you've consciously chosen and now deliberately create, moment by moment. Your quantum awakening is complete. Your infinite journey continues. Now, as you move deeper into this profound understanding, you realize clearly that you were never meant to live under the constraints society imposed upon you. Your existence was never intended to be a passive experience, defined by external rules, limitations, and conditions dictated by the illusions of control, fear, and conformity. The more deeply you explore this quantum reality, the simulation responding dynamically to your every subconscious instruction, the more clearly you see through the layers of deception that have kept you from recognizing your true power. Throughout your life, you've been repeatedly told that you're small, powerless, and subject to external forces beyond your control. The education system, media narratives, societal norms. all subtly conditioning you to believe you're merely a helpless spectator in a vast universe, subject to chance, fate, and circumstance. You've been systematically discouraged from looking within, from discovering your innate creative power, from recognizing that your consciousness itself is the key that unlocks limitless potential. But now you finally see through this carefully constructed illusion. External control was never real. It was always maintained by your own internal acceptance, your subconscious consent to believe in limitation. This recognition is radical and transformative. You realize that true power doesn't reside in external authority or institutions, but entirely within your own consciousness. Your emotional states, beliefs, and subconscious instructions directly shape reality moment to moment. You understand clearly why fear has been so deeply instilled in humanity, especially the fear of death, because a fearful consciousness is easily controlled, predictable, and manageable. But the moment you grasp that death itself is simply another shift within this infinite quantum simulation, fear loses its grip completely. The illusion collapses entirely. Imagine waking up each day knowing with absolute certainty that death cannot destroy you, that your consciousness will always continue seamlessly, shifting into new realities, new experiences, and new identities effortlessly. You become untouchable, unshakable, fearless in ways most people never even imagine. Challenges become opportunities for expansion. Risks no longer threaten you. Instead, they inspire excitement, possibility, and courage. You begin living authentically, fully aligned with your true self, knowing clearly that nothing external has any real power over you. You're finally free from the invisible chains of conditioning. Ancient civilizations recognized this truth thousands of years ago. Consider the Egyptians, who meticulously mapped the afterlife as a precise transition between worlds. They weren't superstitious, they were sophisticated consciousness explorers, fully understanding that death itself was merely another level within an infinite simulation. Their elaborate rituals were not symbolic gestures, but precise codes for guiding consciousness through this transition smoothly, ensuring awareness maintained clarity and continuity between lives. Similarly, ancient Tibetans mastered the bardo, the state between life and death, knowing precisely how consciousness navigates these transitions. Tibetan monks trained extensively to remain conscious during death itself, recognizing clearly that awareness in this transitional state allowed conscious choice over the next simulation experienced. They weren't superstitious mystics. They were quantum navigators, consciously mastering the shifts between simulations, fully aware of their eternal nature. The Gnostics, too, clearly perceived reality as a manufactured illusion, deliberately designed to keep consciousness trapped in ignorance, fear, and limitation. They identified the creator of this illusion as the demiurge, a false deity projecting a dense, material world designed specifically to imprison divine consciousness. To them, death represented liberation, a glitch allowing consciousness to escape the trap, slipping free of illusion entirely. The Hermetics echoed this profound understanding. As above, so below, was not mere poetic metaphor but a direct instruction. Reality mirrors consciousness precisely. Changing your inner world instantly reshapes external experience. Both recognized reality as interactive simulation responding directly to consciousness, thousands of years before quantum physics confirmed precisely this truth. Plato's allegory of the cave also clearly depicted this reality, humans chained inside a cave since birth, viewing shadows on a wall and believing these projections were reality itself. The moment someone breaks free, stepping outside into true light, they realize the shadows were merely illusions, carefully designed projections. Returning to the cave to awaken others, they're rejected, mocked, and resisted because people prefer familiar illusions rather than confronting unsettling truths. Plato wasn't speaking metaphorically, he was directly describing humanity's condition. Trapped within simulations, conditioned to mistake projections for reality itself, modern near-death experiences provide powerful contemporary evidence of consciousness existing independently beyond physical form. Countless documented cases show individuals clinically dead, flatlined brains, no oxygen, no biological function, returning with vivid memories of experiences beyond physical death. Doctors, neurosurgeons, and scientists repeatedly confirm details patients describe accurately. Events occurring during clinical death impossible to explain through standard biological models. Dr. Eben Alexander, a Harvard-trained neurosurgeon and former skeptic, experienced this directly. During a coma with zero brain activity, he traveled consciously through vivid realities far more real than ordinary life. His experience profoundly altered his understanding of reality, consciousness, and existence itself. Similarly, Anita Moorjani, clinically dead from terminal cancer, vividly experienced consciousness leaving her body, observing medical procedures and distant events verified later as accurate. Upon returning, she healed spontaneously, defying medical logic entirely. These experiences aren't hallucinations. They're direct evidence of consciousness operating independently from physical biology, seamlessly shifting through realities beyond current scientific explanation. Thousands of similar documented cases provide consistent evidence consciousness continues after physical death, existing locally beyond physical limitations. The Lancet, a respected medical journal, openly admits near-death experiences remain inexplicable under current biological models. But quantum physics provides clear explanations. Consciousness isn't confined biologically. It's fundamentally non-local, quantum, eternal. Near-death experiences demonstrate vividly how consciousness transitions effortlessly between simulations. Consciousness itself the only true constant. Mandela effects, déjà vu, past life memories, quantum physics experiments, ancient teachings, and near-death experiences all consistently point toward the same profound truth: your consciousness isn't bound by linearity, biology, or external conditions. Your true nature is infinite, seamlessly shifting between simulations, identities, and experiences continuously. Reality itself isn't fixed, it's infinitely flexible, responding dynamically to your emotional and subconscious instructions moment to moment. Death itself is merely another seamless shift within infinite simulations, no longer mysterious, frightening, or final. This realization changes everything about your daily life. You live fearlessly, fully embracing experience authentically. Your subconscious mind becomes your primary focus, reprogramming deeply embedded beliefs to reflect limitless potential rather than conditioned limitation. Quantum visualization, daily vivid emotional rehearsals of desired realities, becomes routine, directly reshaping subconscious instructions. Quantum journaling reinforces these instructions further, embedding new beliefs emotionally into your subconscious mind. You master emotional detachment, not reacting emotionally to unwanted circumstances, knowing reaction reinforces them. Instead, you consciously project new emotional frequencies aligned with your desired realities, trusting the quantum field responds instantly. Quantum leaps become effortless, routinely shifting realities dramatically, swiftly, joyfully. Life becomes playful, exciting, free from previous struggle or anxiety. You cease identifying with external roles or societal expectations. You live authentically, boldly, aligned fully with your infinite quantum nature. Every day provides new opportunities to consciously shift realities, explore new simulations, deliberately shape experiences. You become a quantum master, consciously navigating infinite possibilities, entirely free from fear, limitation, or external control. Time becomes entirely flexible, no longer linear. You clearly perceive past, present, and future simultaneously accessible, shifting timelines effortlessly. Death becomes merely another seamless timeline shift, consciousness transitioning easily between infinite realities. You live fearlessly, authentically, powerfully, no longer constrained by outdated illusions of limitation, fear, or external authority. This is your new permanent reality. Living consciously as a quantum creator, entirely free from illusion or conditioning. You understand clearly reality responds directly to your consciousness, moment to moment, continuously shifting according to your emotional frequency and subconscious beliefs. You're fully awakened to your infinite nature, navigating realities joyfully, deliberately, consciously, no longer bound by illusion or fear. This profound understanding transforms your entire existence. You're fully conscious, fully empowered, fully authentic, living deliberately as the quantum master you've always been beneath layers of illusion. Death holds no power. Reality responds instantly to your instructions. Fear dissolves entirely. You create freely, powerfully, deliberately. Welcome to your true nature. Quantum mastery, infinite creation, fearless living. At this profound stage of your awakening, You begin to grasp the immense power hidden within your subconscious mind, recognizing it as the ultimate architect shaping every aspect of your reality. You've always known, at some intuitive level, that your subconscious controls your behavior, decisions, and emotional reactions, but now you clearly understand its true significance. It's literally the programming interface through which your consciousness interacts directly with the quantum field moment by moment, creating and reshaping your reality continuously. Your subconscious doesn't argue or judge. It simply accepts whatever instructions you repeatedly give it, faithfully executing those instructions as absolute truths. This means every belief you hold deeply, every emotional pattern you repeat consistently, every internal story you tell yourself habitually, becomes encoded directly into your subconscious as commands to the simulation. Your subconscious acts upon these commands immediately, attracting experiences, opportunities, relationships, and circumstances that perfectly match those instructions. This isn't abstract psychology. This is precise quantum mechanics in action. Consider carefully your lifelong conditioning, societal, familial, educational, all subtly programming your subconscious beliefs of limitation, fear, doubt, scarcity, powerlessness. You've absorbed these instructions continuously, often unconsciously, accepting them as normal. The result? Your subconscious dutifully creates external realities reflecting precisely these instructions, reinforcing your belief in limitation. But now, fully awakened, you recognize clearly your subconscious is infinitely reprogrammable. You realize consciously rewriting subconscious beliefs directly alters reality itself. Mastering this subconscious programming process isn't mere wishful thinking. It's precise quantum-level work requiring consistent daily emotional engagement and vivid mental rehearsals. Emotional intensity is key. Your subconscious mind interprets powerful emotions as commands, immediately embedding emotionally charged experiences into your neural pathways, permanently shifting beliefs. Daily repetition strengthens these new pathways, rapidly dissolving old limiting beliefs and permanently installing new empowering instructions. Quantum visualization becomes your primary practice. Every morning and evening, vividly and emotionally experiencing your desired reality internally, as though it's already occurred. Feel deeply the joy, gratitude, excitement, confidence, freedom associated with your desired outcomes. See every detail clearly. Immerse yourself fully in the sensory experience. Your subconscious mind immediately accepts these vivid emotional experiences as real, rapidly reshaping internal beliefs, instantly shifting your emotional frequency, directly instructing the quantum field to deliver corresponding external realities. Quantum journaling further strengthens these new subconscious instructions. Every night, write detailed descriptions of your desired reality, expressing gratitude for already experiencing these outcomes. Emotionally charge each description, vividly visualizing as you write. Reread your journal daily, reinforcing your subconscious programming continuously. Your subconscious mind doesn't differentiate vividly imagined experiences from physical reality. It accepts emotionally charged visualization and journaling as actual experiences, immediately reshaping your reality accordingly. Detachment becomes crucial to mastering subconscious programming. Reacting emotionally to unwanted circumstances only reinforces old limiting beliefs, feeding unwanted simulations. Instead, observe calmly without emotional charge. Neutral observation starves unwanted scenarios of energy, rapidly dissolving old subconscious patterns. Emotional detachment doesn't mean ignoring reality. It means consciously choosing your emotional frequency rather than reacting habitually. By consistently projecting emotional frequencies aligned with your desired outcomes, your subconscious rapidly aligns with new instructions, instantly reshaping external realities. Your emotional frequency is the invisible hand that guides the simulation moment to moment. Low frequency emotions, fear, guilt, shame, anxiety. Project instructions of limitation, attracting corresponding external circumstances. High frequency emotions, gratitude, confidence, clarity, excitement, love. Broadcast powerful new instructions, instantly attracting aligned realities. Emotional mastery becomes essential, consciously choosing your emotional frequency moment by moment, directly shaping reality. Placebo effect again demonstrates subconscious programming powerfully. patients regularly heal incurable diseases simply through deep subconscious belief alone. Their subconscious accepts healing as absolute truth, instantly reshaping biological reality, defying medical logic. Olympic athletes visualize victories vividly, embedding these experiences emotionally into their subconscious, causing their physiology to reshape dramatically. Entrepreneurs visualize success powerfully, projecting confidence, rapidly attracting aligned opportunities. These experiences aren't random. They're precise subconscious programming examples, demonstrating subconscious beliefs reshaping external reality instantly. Your subconscious mind directly interacts with the quantum field continuously, translating subconscious beliefs into physical experiences instantly. Subconscious instructions determine precisely which potential realities manifest externally. This means every challenge, limitation, struggle you've experienced reflects subconscious programming faithfully executed. Rewriting subconscious beliefs immediately reshapes reality, dissolving unwanted limitations, rapidly manifesting desired outcomes. Quantum leaps occur routinely through precise subconscious reprogramming. People spontaneously heal terminal diseases overnight. Dramatic life changes occur instantly through single conversations, sudden insights, unexpected opportunities. Instantaneous shifts regularly defy linear time, revealing quantum leaps as commonplace. Your subconscious mind effortlessly jumps realities through precise emotional alignment, instantly dissolving old limitations, immediately manifesting dramatically improved circumstances. Linear time dissolves entirely under subconscious mastery. Past, present, future become simultaneous possibilities instantly accessible. You no longer struggle linearly towards goals. Instead, you effortlessly shift into desired outcomes instantly through emotional alignment and subconscious programming. Quantum leaps become routine experiences, easily navigating infinite realities continuously, living effortlessly within simultaneous timelines. Death itself dissolves entirely as a threat. Understanding clearly your subconscious mind creates infinite simultaneous realities. You realize consciousness continues uninterrupted through countless simulations effortlessly. Death becomes merely another seamless subconscious transition, consciousness shifting fluidly between realities without interruption. Fear dissolves entirely, replaced by confidence, freedom, and authentic empowerment. You're no longer passively reacting to external circumstances. Instead, you're consciously programming subconscious instructions, deliberately shaping reality continuously. Quantum visualization, emotional mastery, subconscious reprogramming become natural daily practices. Old subconscious programs dissolve entirely, permanently replaced by empowering new instructions, consistently creating desired outcomes effortlessly. Your life becomes an effortless, joyful, playful experience. Struggle and anxiety dissolve completely, replaced by excitement, curiosity, confidence, freedom. Opportunities appear effortlessly, synchronicities accelerate dramatically, unexpected solutions arise continuously. You become fully aligned with your true infinite nature, navigating realities consciously, joyfully, deliberately. No longer bound by subconscious limitations or external authority, you understand profoundly why fear was deliberately programmed into humanity, especially fear of death. Fearful consciousness remains easily controlled. But fully awake, understanding clearly your subconscious creates reality continuously. Fear dissolves entirely. You live authentically, powerfully, consciously, entirely free from limitation, fully embodying infinite quantum potential. This quantum awakening permanently shifts your entire existence. You're fully conscious, fully empowered, fully authentic, living deliberately as the quantum master beneath layers of illusion. Death becomes merely another seamless shift. Reality responds instantly to your instructions. Fear dissolves entirely. You create freely, powerfully, deliberately. Your subconscious mind becomes a precise quantum interface, clearly communicating with the holographic field moment to moment. Subconscious instructions determine precisely which potential realities manifest externally. You consciously program subconscious beliefs deliberately, reshaping external realities instantly. Old subconscious programs dissolve rapidly, permanently replaced by empowering new instructions, continuously creating desired outcomes effortlessly. This profound understanding transforms your entire existence. You're fully conscious, fully empowered, fully authentic, living deliberately as the quantum master beneath layers of illusion. Death holds no power. Reality responds instantly to your instructions. Fear dissolves entirely. You create freely, powerfully, deliberately. Imagine fully embodying this profound understanding daily. You awaken each morning excited, confident, curious, knowing clearly your subconscious mind continuously shapes reality moment to moment. Quantum visualization vividly programs desired outcomes daily. Quantum journaling reinforces subconscious instructions continuously. Emotional mastery consistently projects powerful frequencies directly shaping reality. Detachment starves unwanted scenarios, instantly dissolving old subconscious patterns. You experience continuous synchronicity, effortless opportunities, joyful quantum leaps routinely. Struggle dissolves entirely, replaced by effortless manifestation. You navigate infinite realities joyfully, deliberately, consciously, fully aligned with your infinite quantum nature. Death itself becomes merely another seamless subconscious shift, consciousness transitioning easily between infinite realities continuously. This is your new permanent reality. Living consciously as quantum creator, fully and authentic, fully limitless. Your subconscious mind becomes a precise quantum interface, deliberately programming desired outcomes continuously. Old subconscious programs dissolve permanently, rapidly replaced by empowering new instructions, instantly reshaping external realities. Fear dissolves entirely, replaced by freedom, confidence, excitement, curiosity. Opportunities appear effortlessly, synchronicities accelerate dramatically, unexpected solutions arise continuously. You live joyfully, playfully, consciously, fully embodying infinite quantum potential. Welcome fully to your infinite quantum nature, fully conscious, fully empowered, fully authentic. Death holds no power. Reality responds instantly to your instructions. Fear dissolves entirely. You create freely, powerfully, deliberately. This is your quantum awakening. Your infinite journey continues joyfully, consciously, deliberately. At this moment, your journey brings you to the profound realization that the universe itself, the entire reality you've been navigating, is fundamentally holographic, encoded as information, responsive and malleable, shaped continuously by the beliefs, emotions, and subconscious programs within your consciousness. Nothing in existence is truly solid or fixed. The entire cosmos is a projection, a meticulously interactive simulation constructed from quantum data, rendered seamlessly by your subconscious mind in alignment with your deepest beliefs and emotional states. This holographic reality isn't merely a philosophical concept. It's firmly grounded in scientific understanding. Physicists such as David Bohm recognized decades ago that reality behaves precisely like a holographic projection. The universe isn't composed of separate, isolated objects, but emerges from a deeper, unified field of quantum information. Every fragment of reality contains encoded data about the entire universe, similar to how each fragment of a hologram contains the entire image within it.